It was the year before I was diagnosed. I really had a lot on my plate, working about 16, 18 hours a day. Mentally as well, I was at my breaking point because I was running so many things. That's when I fell into depression. That's when my period stopped. That's when I started losing clumps of hair. I think that's the pinnacle of when it just like exploded. Fatigue, hair loss, weight gain. I was very agitated all the time, and then my period was irregular. I was not myself. I just felt very sad. I fell into depression. So I guess like for the whole spectrum of it, I really felt like I had lost myself. So my doctor took a blood test, and then they did a scan where they found ovarian cysts on my uterus, and then as well as the blood test came back and my insulin was through the roof. That's when the doctor diagnosed me with polycystic ovarian syndrome. It was a very scary terminology. I really had no idea what it was. Polycystic ovarian syndrome sounds like a very serious disease, and I was taken aback at first. With polycystic ovarian syndrome, it's so individualistic. Everyone's different, everyone's symptoms are different, everyone reacts to things differently. Even lifestyle changes differ between one person to the other. I also found out that I had thyroid deficiency, besides having all the other symptoms of polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I also had endometriosis, which is a blood cyst that grows in any part of the uterus. That is the reason why I have been in so much pain for so many years, because I had a 5-centimeter blood cyst on my left ovary, which I was struggling with all my adulthood, I guess, or maybe I don't know when it appeared. So at the end of 2020, in December, I went in to have my surgery to remove my endometriosis, and I can say that after recovery, it's the first time in so many years that I do not feel any pain. So all these years I thought whatever I was feeling was normal, and then now I know what normal is, and I'm just like, wow, this is what life should be like in a way. And I was missing out on a lot of things because of my pain. After kind of like speaking to my first gynecologist, and she assured me that this is something that you can overcome just by doing a few lifestyle changes. Priority now is to get your period back. So in a way, I guess like after listening to a lot of women out there, I was one of the lucky ones that had a doctor who I guess in a way told me that there is a way to kind of overcome this. I mean, managing PCOS is a learning curve, right? Every day you're trying new things, and some days you try things and it works, and some days you try things that don't work. I mean, it could be as simple as cutting out rice from your diet. Going through this journey, there's some things that I've eliminated from my life that has really improved my well-being. I would say that the first thing is, I guess, the food that I eat. So I'm eating a lot more clean, home-cooked meals. I do have sugar once in a while. I do indulge once in a while. I don't say I completely cut out, but I would say 80% or even 90% of my diet consists of really wholesome foods. The other two is I've eliminated a lot of negative, toxic relationships and lifestyle habits from my life, which has condensed the way I function and prioritize things that make me happy and make me want to wake up every morning and do. So I guess that's the second biggest thing. And I would say the third thing that I've kind of implemented in my life, which is outdoors activities and meditation, which has really tremendously helped me calm my nerves. So I have been taking lots of medication, trying to figure out what works for me. So I'm actually now on the metformin withdrawals, because I was taking metformin for about 5 months after my surgery, and I've now come off it. So now I'm having metformin withdrawals, which is actually Dizziness. I'm feeling extremely agitated, anxiety driven. My blood pressure is through the roof. My sugar levels are really high. And I really didn't know that it was depression. And then we worked towards going to speak to a counselor, which I did, and that kind of helped me. But what led after that was anxiety. So mine was a big hit of depression for a significant period, and then the anxiety kicked in. I mean, I still struggle with it sometimes, especially when I have too much on my plate, but there are, mental health is a huge part of polycystic ovarian syndrome because it has a lot to do with your hormones and how you're feeling. I used to get into huge fights with people that I love the most. And I used to morph out of my body and then look at me going, my God, you're crazy. But I could not stop myself from feeling that anger. So mental health is a huge issue that we have to deal with. And mental health is something that runs in my family as well. So my mom also struggles with mental health, and my grandfather also struggles with mental health. That it's another thing that I have to consider when I look after myself. It's just like I have to check in with my well-being. I guess how the coping mechanism that we have as women is that we just get on with it. I was feeling down or depressed. I didn't know I could speak to someone about it. I really felt isolated and alone, and that is the issue that we are trying to curb, with My PCOS I Love You, is the fact that you are not alone, and there is ways to overcome all these different challenges. And the first thing I would like to say to all my PCOS sisters out there is that, one, you are not alone, okay? Second is, it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you feel that way, that you look that way, that you are in pain, that you are struggling. It's not your fault. It's a disease, and we are fighting to figure out how we can help you manage this. And the third one is, have open conversations with the women in your life about polycystic ovarian syndrome. Be frank about it. Talk about seeing a doctor if you feel like that you see your sister or your niece or your mom or your friend struggling with it. Like, if you know what polycystic ovarian syndrome is, go and find out what it is. Go and see a doctor, do a blood test, seek advice from us, and we'll be able to help you. So that's my hope, is for more people to talk about it and to embrace this, because it really does affect a lot of women in Malaysia.